are not the biggest or the greatest person in the house or in the room because you are the leader. You ought to be helping people to achieve their fullest potential, their goal, and purpose in life. Let's talk now. Someone said that power and authority, or power, tends to corrupt. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. Power corrupts some people, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. When you don't have to answer to people, you mess yourself up. People like Hitler, and some of them, they had absolute power. So they caused the death of many people. When people don't have to answer to nobody, they just prorogue the house. When people don't have to answer to nobody, they just call election. Y'all ain't gonna help me up in there. When people don't have to answer to nobody, they just close the church. When people don't have to answer to nobody, they just fire people left and right. Y'all ain't gonna help me preach up in here. Absolute power is dangerous. Let us look at our text. 3 groups of people were mentioned. The publicans, the people, the publicans, and the soldiers. Our focus today is the question from the soldiers. But let's look. Whenever you come in contact with God and you get saved, you want to do what is right. No man comes to Jesus and go back the same way. Look here. John was baptizing. Oh, help us up in here. And when people want to do right, they're going to try, or they're going to start finding out, what must I do to get this right? These people were going to be baptized, and the people asked him. Let me go for it. In essence, John ever scared the people like hell. He said, for I say to you, God is able or not going to raise up no children from Abraham. This is verse 9. And this is chapter number 3 of Luke. And even now he said the axe is laid to the root of the tree. Therefore every tree which does not bear fruit is cut down and thrown in the fire. Somebody say, I won't go in the fire. So the people ask, saying, if this the case, what? Oh, help me up in there. What must we do? I want to live right. I want to go right. What must I do? John said, as a people, as a church, good Sam, you must help people in their basic human need. And the basic human need, what's John say do? If you got 2 clothes, or if you got 2 gowns, or you got 2 dresses, give somebody one. Oh, help us. If you got food, give it to some people. That's all you need. Help people. Give some clothes and give some food. That's all the people have to do. Now, what he says to the publicans, the tax collector. Look what he says. I told you our focus is the soldiers. To the tax collector, he said, the tax collector also came to him to be baptized and said to him, teacher, what must we do? Are you all with me? What must we do? And look what John says to them. And he said to them, collect no more than what is appointed for you. Stop robbing the people. Don't take more tax than you ought to take. So we are saying to Ministry of Finance, don't put no tax on us except we know, and you take it to House of Parliament, and it was debated, and we hear about it. Hello, somebody. And we are saying to BPL, come and read our meter. Don't estimate our meter during the winter, during the summertime. And we pay this hefty, that's a good word, water bill, light bill. Don't let my light bill be from $200 and then it go to $800. That's criminal. That's wrong. Don't estimate my meter. Come and read it. So that's what John tells them. Stop crooking the people. Stop. Don't charge them no more. And that's the reason why you and I have to decide to put honest people in Parliament, in this workplace, people who have integrity. And integrity is who you are when nobody is looking. Dodgers are not, or dodgers have no integrity. Hello, somebody. Can I preach? Now, the soldiers asked John, the people say, and he told the people, all you need to do is, just if you have 2 dresses, give somebody 1. If you have food, give it to some people. The tax collectors, the Republicans, stop robbing people. Don't charge people more than you ought to charge them. Now, the soldiers, and what it says here, verse 14, likewise the soldiers asked him, saying, and what shall we do? Look what he says. Your book may have a different interpretation. Look what he says. So he said to them, can I take my time? Do not intimidate anyone. Or don't use violence against anyone. Don't intimidate anyone. What next he says? Or accuse falsely. No false accusations. And be content with your wages. Hope I can preach this today. So, it is said that power is like fire. Accomplish great good, but there is always the temptation for abuse. Power must never be used for selfish gain. Harm people, abuse people, do bad to people, or use your power to avoid accountability. There are too many people use their power, ultimate power, to avoid accountability. They do what they want to do. They say what they want to say. They behave as they want to behave. But tell somebody, no, 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 no. John responds to the law enforcement officers of Jerusalem. Leroy is responding to the church folk, the pastors, the preachers, and to the political people in our country about these three issues of abuse of power: intimidation, false accusation, and discontent. Look what it says: intimidation. One version put it like this: intimidation is to make fearful, especially to compel or deter by threats. Anytime people trying to intimidate you, they're trying to force you, make you fearful. But recently I learned a new definition of intimidation. And all of you know this one. Do you know who I am? Anytime people say that to you, they're trying to intimidate you. Do you know who I am? Or a new definition of intimidation that I learned was recently: draw a line in the sand. And then the next one I learned: I wish them luck. Intimidation. People seek to intimidate you, especially when you do not bow to them. Pastors are intimidators. Politicians are intimidators. Nobody tried to intimidate people like pastors and politicians. If I was a politician, I'd bow. But as a pastor, I'd bow. Ladies and gentlemen, we can use power to push other people around, especially those who are too weak or afraid to push back. Using power in that way is ungodly and harmful. You're saying, you're reading my message. It can come back to you. Those who use power in that manner become the greatest victim and destroy themselves. Don't intimidate. Don't victimize. Don't try to destroy people. You're going to mess up yourself. The greatest victim. And destroy themselves. People will serve you with no loyalty, and they will always resent you. They'll work because of your power, but they will not be loyal to you, and they will always resent you. Every chance they get behind your back, they cuss you out. Don't intimidate people. Don't intimidate your children. Don't threaten your husband or your wife. Because you are employed now and they are unemployed. Stop the mess. I thought I would be hooping all truth. But also who these soldiers were concerned about doing the right thing. Relationship with God will make you do what is right regardless of your status in the community. Fix it! Stop abusing. Stop intimidating. that sound like some people intimidating you, trying to make you look small? Integrity is who you are when no one is watching. You can't intimidate your wife, intimidate your husband, intimidate your children, intimidate the behavioral people, intimidate the church. That's not what leadership is all about. Servanthood. Save. I know you must take a stand, but for God's sake. Because every now and again God shows up. God shows us who we are. Pastors, preachers, and politicians never learn. I just like talking to them. It seems as if they have ashes in their head. Ashes. Yeah. Yeah, that's just the fire. And some of you the same way. All you do is cuss out your children. That's why I talk about total leadership. The truth is, we want to be excellent on the job. We come and show, my wife, the mother speaks me, show our teeth to everybody else. And when we get home, we start calling our children cat and dogs and rat and pig and everything. When we get on the job, we call people baby, honey, sugar, darling, punch. Dumpling, peas and soup, sweet potato, mashed potato. And when we get home, our children, our people, our wife and everybody, dogs. Total leadership is about behaving on the job, showing respect like the job at home. Fakey leadership. You're good, KB said jokey leaders.